So that's Amanda.
Yeah, I mean, I think I should go to the bulletin. I'm okay with just splitting up for a little bit and meeting back later.
Back
Unless
in the hotel.
unless anyone wants to come with me. Yeah, back at the hotel.
Okay. I mean, should we like call consider this like a day thing, or spend a few hours, come back from lunch, and compare notes, and then head out again?
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't think we need to spend all day with the
Bolton's probably small too. Yeah.
Yeah, probably right.
So the thought is, Coop is going to the bulletin, and then what? Who else is doing what again?
Amanda's going to find and talk to Dr. Ali Kafir.
Okay.
And I'm going with Amanda.
Okay. And what is Eve's doing?
That's a good question. Amanda, do you think you've got the Kafor matter handled? I think, right?
I suppose I've never met the man before.
Maybe if I drew you a quick sketch or something, you could. Because I think Coop will need help with the newspaper, so maybe we'll just split up, and you'll take the.
With this dialogue here, I think maybe Amanda might want to do a psychology roll with
her. Secrets.
Keep her meddling. Oh no.
Giving him the hairy eyeball.
Eve seems very uncomfortable talking about Ali Kapoor for some reason.
These are little slits.
Yeah. Anyway, I think my cab is here, so maybe Coop and I will just go to the bulletin, and we'll meet up for lunch. Yes, lunch.
You go and yeah, you go and do that.
Okay.
We'll have a lot to talk later.
Yeah, so it depends on what we find, but yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sneak out with Coop.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Amanda's gonna lean over to Evelyn. Check me, but at some point I fear that I might end up shooting the poor man myself. I'm not sure I trust him any further than I can throw him.
Well, I'll question him when he gets back.
You do that. I'm not sure I have your patience.
Is there any what is it specifically that is making you concerned?
Let's just say I have a very good lie detector, and he's really making pain by the last few things he said.
Yeah, it looks like you almost have a headache.
Is that what it looks like? I really hope that
your eyes are like your eyes just like narrowed so much, and your brow really furrowed. It's amazing. It's just.
That's not a good look. She starts blinking her eyes and starts rubbing her brow. Let's go.
Okay.
Before I think about it any further.
Okay.
All right. So, well, Eves and Coop rush out and get the first cab that's been waiting in front of the hotel, and hop in and start.
When we go outside, can I look to see if there's any like Brotherhood guys?
Yeah, you can give me a spot hidden check, I guess. Or...
Yeah. Oh no.
No.
Too many people.
Big fail.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people around. I don't know.
There's probably.
Probably, sure. It's probably that vendor across the way trying to sell, dates or something over there.
It's the same guy from the train station. I knocked over a whole cart of like pottery at the train station.
Right. But now he's selling dates instead of pottery.
They start screaming at me. Like, should I get in the cab?
I'm probably taking you quickly into the cab because I'm trying to get the hell out of here, out of this hotel.
Yeah, you think he's screaming. He is screaming at you, but he's screaming, "Do you want some dates?" But, well, I mean.
What? No. Yeah. At this point, Coop doesn't know Egyptian, right? He knew it yesterday, but he doesn't today.
Yeah, I think it's just like a short-term thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't last forever for sure.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's just like they're just screaming at me. I don't know.
What are you talking about? Tell the cabbie where to go. I can't speak to him.
Pyro. Bulletin? Do you know Bulletin? It's tries to mime newspaper.
Are you hungover? What?
Yeah. Bulletin.
Honestly, I think Coop would have a newspaper somewhere with him.
Oh yeah.
Pulls one out.
Yes. Cairo Bulletin. Yes. See, and then he goes driving off as the other guy's yelling, "Dates, fresh dates at you."
He said he was gonna murder me. The fresh bullets for you? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's not coming to me.
It must be really unnerving one day you know the language, and next day you don't. It's like that name that you heard and don't remember anymore.
Yeah, there's a reason why every time I open up the Fantasy Grounds, it says Cooper Bucks gains an indefinite insanity.
I don't know why
It's weird how that will happen.
Yeah, I think it just keeps that way if you lose any insanity from your, like
max.
From the max. It's weird.
I'm at I'm one away from 50% on my max. So.
I don't understand that. That's so weird. Like I keep unchecking it, and then it comes back every time you log on. It like just auto resets.
Coop's lost a lot of sanity over time, so.
That's why I'm always so worried about him. He's an incredible boy.
All right. So yeah, you guys are driving your way along to the Cairo Bulletin, and we'll just quickly flip back to the driving of, or if you guys are going to drive, Amanda and Evelyn. You're taking a cab, I assume?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same thing kind of happens to you. I mean, I think you figure out like the guy across the way is just yelling about wanting to sell you some fresh dates, and it just seems kind of like a, normal experience in Cairo, probably.
Yeah.
And I suppose maybe the contrast, Amanda will actually go and buy some dates.
Those look delicious.
Love that golden color.
Just like with a casual stroll, even just like.
Yeah, right.
Just walk across the street, hand her a few pence, and we come back with like a whole branch of it. Evan, look, fresh dates.
Delicious. Can I have one?
Oh yes, have it all. I think we could barely fit it in the car, considering how much I just got for I was about to say dollar.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how much a dollar would get.
That'd probably be like the entire cart or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys are more of a pleasant, like, get a cab and head off to where you're heading. And you were gonna head off to the Egyptian Museum, I believe, to talk to Ali Kafour. Okay. So that scene kind of plays out, and then we're going back to eventually you make your way through the busy streets of Cairo, Coop and Yves, and you are now cab stops directly in front of the Cairo Bulletin, which is it's not too far from your hotel actually. It's just kind of around the corner, so it wasn't a very long ride at all.
It takes a really long.
Yeah.
$10 cab ride.
that actually probably did happen for sure.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you know what? I don't have any money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Amanda's
what?
been paying for everything.
Oh yeah, no. Amanda gives me allowance, so I have
Oh,
some
okay.
money. As Scoop like puts his hand through a hole in his pocket. Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get on her good side, Coop probably tells him.
Yeah, she's just yeah. If you like get to know, I mean, I've known Amanda for a long time, and she literally has financed my entire life.
Oh wow.
Like
That's a good friend to have.
yeah, I just met her randomly because I signed up. I like read a newspaper article and showed up and met her randomly, and since then I've never been poor, which is crazy because I was so poor.
That's quite unusual. Yeah, well, I think she knows. I'll have to befriend her. She knows me better than maybe I know myself. At this
You
point.
know, I understand that too. That's kind of how I feel about Amanda most of the time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, out of the cab.
Yeah, as we're wait. So I remember right. We're talking to these people about the robbery of the mummy, right?
Yes.
Live expedition mummy.
Was the Clive expedition and that a different thing?
There was a mummy theft. I think they would know. I think there's one.
I'll just ask. Hey, so we don't know what we're asking about.
New in town.
Do you happen that you might be able to figure out what I need to know? Yeah, no, I think there was the Clive expedition, which Gavigan
Yes.
funded, which we don't like that guy. Um, we totally robbed that guy for like 10,000 pounds.
That was a poor choice, I think, but
Yeah,
sounds fun.
yeah, it was crazy. I found a secret door inside of a sarcophagus, inside of a secret closet, inside of another secret closet. And it went down to his basement, and he had a whole bunch of stuff down there, including just a chest full of money.
That's a lot of successful spot hidden rolls, it sounds like. Are we just in the back of the cab having this conversation?
Yeah.
Abby's like pointing at the meter.
He is. He's like.
Yeah.
He starts yelling something at you in Egyptian, like.
I guess we're here.
And motioning.
What does the building look like? Is there like a big sign? Is this like a New York Times type of paper, or like a
I
New
mean,
York Post type of paper?
it's probably a lot smaller, but and maybe a little bit more. It's not as clean and you know probably as civilized looking as.
Is it the main paper in Cairo? Like.
Yeah, I think it is probably the main paper in Cairo.
Okay.
Well,
Well.
let's go in.
All right.
Oh, I should say I was thinking about playing it as we're international journalists. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I like it. All right.
Coop is having a good time.
That's not a lie. I mean, that's what I do.
We are international.
Yeah.
That's not that far from the truth. Okay. Yeah.
That's the mark of a good lie is it's got to be not far from the truth.
Let's just not pull any guns or anything, okay? I'd like to get out of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Are you in like? Is Coop in a weird mental state, like with his temporary insanity? Like, do I know?
I mean,
is anything weird going on?
Coop has always been a little weird since we've met him.
Okay.
But I think Coop is a little bit delirious all the time. I think he just is a little bit of an odd. I mean, he's wearing his outfit right is like half Egyptian garb, half like American clothes.
That's definitely weird. Yeah. Okay. It's as I would have met you. Okay. That's
yeah. Because I've only since we've been playing together, I've only lost one sanity.
That's normal. Yeah, that's a very normal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's lost about 50% from the whole game, so yeah.
Well, I already met him when he was a nutter, so it's fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So we go in. Yes, international journalist. Yes.
Okay.
Story on mummies.
Yeah, you enter it, and it's much probably like some of the newspapers that you've gone to, Coop, but Egyptian, and it's different. You know, definitely a different feel to it, but very similar. Like journalists running around, probably running from desk to desk, talking about things, and there's a lot of activity.
I we walk in. I pull out my little notepad, like almost like I'm gonna blend in, just like I'm ready to journalize. And then I think about doing the trick that I did in the English newspaper, where I just walked right to the boss and just started talking to him. But then I remembered that these guys don't speak English. talk to the receptionist and just say, excuse me, sorry, Cooper Bucks with the International Journal. Does anyone here speak English? Can I speak to your editor?
um, Give me a luck roll.
Because, yeah, I'm like, I don't have to speak Egyptian. My luck is bad, though. Close,
Ooh.
but no.
I mean, she looks up and she speaks to you, but it's definitely in kind of broken English. Like maybe she's not really great with English, and is like, um, I who you who you look for?
Your, your editor. Editor.
All right. So after a little back and forth like this,
Yeah.
of like questioning back and forth, eventually she kind of points to a door on in the back that has a big sign on it that is in Egyptian, but you're kind of thinking that's probably says like editor or something.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
great. Awesome.
Um,
All right.
but yeah, she doesn't really seem to stop you or anything. She just
Great.
points at it and then gets back to whatever she was doing, typing up or whatever.
Great. All right. Let's go.
Let's do it. Is the door open?
Yeah, is the door open?
Yeah, you head over there and it looks like the door is open and there's a middle-aged man in there, Egyptian man that's kind of busy talking on the phone right now. And he's talking in Egyptian. He's just like blah 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 blah, and just kind of smoking. I'm sorry, smoking a cigar, cigar and talking, and then like starts yelling at someone, and
Just kind of like awkwardly like step inside and just kind of stand there and like
he's kind of like the standard editor that you've always seen, Coop.
yeah,
Just
same kind of
Egyptian.
place. Yeah. I know I talk to these guys.
Does he have anything on his shelves? Like, can I look around his office while he's on the phone? Kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of sparse. It has some kind of on the walls. It has some articles from the newspaper that probably were important to him that are in Egyptian. And he has some little knickknacks that maybe are probably not real. Uh, Antiquities on his desk and stuff. It looks like he has some interest in that stuff.
Does he have like a Rolodex or address book or something that I can see on his desk?
I would say yeah, he probably has that, and probably like a typewriter over on another like desk in the room and stuff. I mean, not at the desk that he sits at, but probably on the other side.
Okay.
He's got a lot of papers around and a lot of you know. His desk is a little messy.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to steal that eventually.
Okay.
The address book.
All right.
But not yet.
I think if it takes him a while to get off the phone, I'll like sit down in a chair across from him.
Sure. And there's a couple chairs that are right across from him. eventually he's like, she's talking and yelling at somebody, and then he looks over at you, and he just looks like confused at you as you're sitting there across from him, and he starts yelling in the phone, and then he hangs up. Hello? Can I help you? I assume you speak American, English.
Yeah. How did you know? Wow.
I, well,
We're from the Joplin Journal, right?
Yeah. We're from the yes. We we were wondering. We know that we covered a recent case and we're interested and we're hoping we could learn a little bit from you about it. Just as one journalist to another.
The Joplin Journal? Who's the Joplin Journal? Why?
International news. Yeah.
It's distributed internationally. I'm sure you've read some of our reporting. It's often regurgitated by some of these smaller.
I've never heard of the Joplin Journal.
Well, we don't have quite the network in Cairo. It's a long way from Joplin, but I think it's not about. We're not here to speak about Joplin. I think we're here to talk about mummies and stolen things. I think we'd love to do a story on it.
Oh.
We're just trying to, it's really big international news. We really want to get the story out there. We're just really trying to make that mark.
You're here for the stolen mummy story.
Yeah, that. We had another question about another group. I'm not sure if it was the same journey or not, but I've been hearing a lot about this Clive expedition. Do you know? I was wondering if you also let me in about that. It might be a different case entirely, I know, but I just, pursuing all angles.
Well, I mean, the mummy was stolen from the pyramid that the Clive expedition is in currently a dig around.
Gotcha. That's right. Thank you.
The Clive expedition stole the mummy, or they just happened to be at the same?
No, well, they did not steal the mummy. They uncovered the mummy, and then the mummy got stolen.
Oh, bad luck.
Yeah, very bad luck. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. There are always thieves around here. People trying to make a buck off of things like our mummies and stuff. Ghouls, they are, those folks. I mean, he's saying it in more of Egyptian tone, but I don't want to keep going on with that too much.
It's criminal behavior. I can't even. Your treasures.
To steal, it's their history. It's pathetic. Not the history, the stealing. The stealing of their histories. Anyway, I think so. This expedition that's a sanctioned Egyptian government project, or what is the Clive expedition?
Yeah. The Clive expedition, yeah, it's part of the Penhew Foundation. They do a lot of digs around here, and they have an agreement with Egypt to do this particular dig. So.
What do you have any opinions on the Penhew Foundation as a company?
Oh, yeah, the Penhew Foundation. Well, I mean, they do a lot of digs, which provides money to us to some extent, but a lot of people don't really like how Europeans, such as the Penhew Foundation, are ravaging our history here. But
I was just thinking, like, what a twist would it be if they had stolen it from themselves so that they could hide that they kept it and didn't donate it to any kind of museum or anything.
Ooh.
I don't know. That's just
Now that's an interesting. That's an interesting idea. Where did you come up with that? Do you have some information?
Oh, I might have some information about the Penny Foundation. If I was gonna, that's something I not know if I want to spread, unless somebody I know has some information I might need to know about this case.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, I think you could roll.
Yeah, I can do a persuade.
Yeah, like a persuade roll or something like that. I mean, I think your kind of dropping that idea kind of definitely helps in that type of thing.
Yeah. Could I get? Are you saying that sounds like you're saying I can get a bonus die to it? Tony?
Sure. Yeah.
Extreme success.
Oh wow. Okay. Extreme success. Yeah, he seems to kind of warm up to you about talking to her about things. You find out his name is Nigel Wasif. He is the proprietor and editor of the Cairo Bulletin. Uh, he tells you we do have archives of several. There's several articles for um, expeditions from the Panhu Foundation in our archives. If you'd be interested in kind of looking through them for stuff.
Absolutely. Do you happen to have translated versions? I can, just speed up the process.
Yeah, I think we could. We do have some translated versions. We do sell a translated paper to some of the.
Great. I've been working on my Egyptian, but it's hit or miss. So. Great. Yeah, I would love to. Do you have any besides what's in your articles, any thoughts about why someone might want to steal that mummy specifically? That got stolen, just that you wouldn't, speculations that you wouldn't put in an article because you're, in one of your papers, because it's not confirmed, but something you were thinking of.
Well, he motions for you to close the door.
Yeah.
I'll close that.
Sure. Well, we're still gathering more information on it, but this Clive party that's working for the Penny Foundation, well, this mummy that they unearthed, they're basically they found a hidden chamber in this Mycerius pyramid that they are currently doing a dig in, and well, the rumor is that it's actually the remains of a queen, a queen Nitocris.
Yeah, could you spell that?
Nitocris.
I really spelled it like Nido King, but with the Chris at the end.
Or Nitocris, I think it's, yeah.
My notes, I love to keep them the way I originally spelled them, because I know I'll pronounce them right if I do it that way, So I'm like, that's how I imagine the words should sound.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
Nitocris, interesting.
Yes, Nitocris. Now this.
Am I familiar with that individual with my own archaeological background?
Yeah, you could give me a roll, and I could try to.
Yeah, we're actually a pretty good team for this.
Yeah, right. Check this out. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy. All right.
All good. I must be somewhat familiar with, like, at least searching for. Must be a legendary mummy.
My guess is it's the Black Pharaoh's wife.
That could very well be.
Right. Okay. So from what you recall, you're kind of digging back in your memory. You recall this Nitocris was once a queen of Egypt, and possibly the last ruler of the Sixth Dynasty during the Old Kingdom period. She was said to have ascended the throne after her brother, the previous pharaoh, was murdered. Uh, there is a tale of Nitocris avenging her brother's death by inviting his murderers to a banquet and then drowning them by flooding the room with the Nile River.
That's right.
That's normal. I know that.
Yeah, not cultish at all.
No, that's typical.
Yeah, so that's probably what you just recall right there.
Hmm. She's not like a grail find for an archaeologist, like.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it would be amazing to find.
Remarkable find.
It's a fairly remarkable find, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. The mummy and the sarcophagus for this mummy disappeared before any tests could be conducted. Yeah, he tells you as well, which has confused authorities, as the site was well guarded and there was only one entrance.
Well, it sounds like a bit of collusion, my friend, I think. It's difficult to sell a body, though. I mean, there must be some scuttlebutt around it. What could someone want this mummy for?
Well, some think that this a Dutch archaeologist from the Clive expedition, Jan Willem van Hulen, was fired because they think he may have been involved in it, in the theft of this mummy. We've been unable to find him, so if you are doing investigations, perhaps you could talk to him and find out what his involvement is, or if he knows where this mummy is.
Where was he last seen?
It's said he is an alcoholic.
Yes. I remember that back from.
So I'm not sure, but that would be something for you to kind of try to dig around and find out, perhaps.
Yeah, so we gotta go to a bunch of bars. Damn.
Oh shit.
Gonna be rough.
Do it called a mummy crawl.
Mummy
bar crawl.
Honestly, that's the incredible Halloween thing. Everyone dresses a mummy. Like everybody's got toilet paper wrapped around them for the whole bar crawl. That'd be great.
That's gonna be this year's trend.
Just toilet paper all over the city.
Yeah.
Perhaps members of the Clive expedition know where he is. The only thing we've heard is he's probably somewhere in the old city, in a bar or someplace like that. Like you said.
Okay. Good to know. John Wilhelm.
What's the name of this guy?
John. Yeah, Jean Wilhelm. Something.
John or John?
JAN Willem. And so that's his first name.
J-A-N? So Jan, maybe?
Yeah, maybe Jan. Jan Wilhelm
Jan Wilhelm.
van Hoevelen. Heuvelen. Van Halen. John.
Now known as Van.
Great. Okay, yeah, definitely look for him. That's a key witness. Thank you. Thank you. Went full police officer there for a second. But great. Okay. Well, since you scratched our back, we've been digging into some possible illegal thing, like selling, black market selling and trade with the Penguin Foundation.
Really?
Yeah, actually, there's a fair amount. They actually recently I heard that there was a break-in in their London museum of, and it revealed a whole secret room full of artifacts.
Fascinating. These are stolen artifacts from the Egyptian from Egypt here?
Well, if they're not on record anywhere, does that make it theft or?
It does sound like it could be
That's
theft.
a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's did they take it from Egypt? Yes, that's true.
But they're supposed to document.
Yeah, it's supposed to go to, research. My friend here does a bit of archaeology. He would know.
Yes, those things typically belong in a museum.
And you are?
In somebody's basement.
Oh, just a collector of things.
You look
Stories.
familiar.
I don't. Maybe we met at a party or so. I've been to Cairo once or twice, but I don't. Do I know this guy?
Well, not personally, no.
Oh, sure. Okay.
But maybe some of your the stuff you had last time you were in Egypt that happened may have.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I do know some people on the Clyde expedition, so I'm sure we've met. Brushed shoulders at a function.
Okay.
Something like that.
I mean, he changes the subject right away then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he still sitting at his desk?
He is. But he does say if you as I said, if you like, you can have my secretary take you down to the archives and you can try to go through any of our information for your research.
If I could take like one more minute of your time, do you could just, I find whenever I'm talking to an editor that it's sometimes when I read an article with them, they point out extra things that actually got cut, and I was really hoping you could come with me to check out the archives.
We tried to communicate with the secretary earlier, and we just weren't getting through, and I think the language barrier will make our research.
That actually that's a much better point. Absolutely.
That's pretty truthful.
Yeah.
Persuade or some sort of fast talk.
Yeah, give me like a fast talk. Oh.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. Okay, well, sure. He basically says, he's very helpful at this point. You kind of made a friend. It would really suck to kind of break that friendship if you ever need him again.
By trying to steal an address book, you mean?
Could be an issue. But
Well, it's
yeah,
only if you fail.
he'll take you down to the archives and stuff.
I think on the way down, I just start telling him about our adventures.
Okay.
Like I
Boy.
try to like weave carefully around anything that's insane. That'll make me sound like a crazy person. But I think I'm now excited. Who kills it at the newspaper every single time? Every time we've gotten to it. I've gotten it at least one extreme success. I think he's really feeling himself now. That time is like it wasn't even in English.
You know, it's unfortunate you're working for this. What was it? The what paper? The
Joplin something.
Joplin Journal.
Joplin something. If you were an independent, are you able to do any independent writing? We could potentially use someone with more of a a European background to do some of our writing for.
I absolutely give him my business card. Yeah, absolutely.
Or Western, not perhaps European, because you're American.
No. I've been. I'm from America, but I have spent quite a bit of the last year in Europe. So, lots of traveling.
So fascinating.
Yeah, it's a wild world out there.
And your Joplin journal pays for all this travel.
Yes, it's a good job.
If you're ever in Joplin, we'll show you around, I'm sure, and take you out to dinner.
Nigel. Let's go read some newspapers.
He's all
All right.
starry-eyed now.
Hey, I think at this point, before you do any kind of more research downstairs in the archives, I'm going to take a break, bio break, and then I'll come back and do the Egyptian Museum stuff with Evelyn and Amanda.
Great.
Couple minutes.
Okay,
5 minutes?
Yeah, 5-10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
sounds good.
All right. See you in a few.
I'll be back.
Tess?
I'm just petting my dog, who looks needy.
Oh,
I'm back too.
welcome back.
Actually, since they're in the other group, we could probably get started a
Oh yeah, that's a very valid point.
little bit. Okay, so Amanda and Evelyn take their taxi to the Egyptian Museum, and it's located near the Nile and the Qasr el Nil Bridge. Um, it's a large ochre dome and a prominent city landmark. I mean, you could probably even see it from your hotel.
It's so beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Oh,
Yes.
Wow.
such architecture. No, you normally wouldn't see this in Europe or anywhere else for that
Um,
matter.
it just, I do have to say, this would be an amazing trip if it wasn't under such dire circumstances. I've seen so much.
I agree. It is too bad we're. It's too bad this is a working situation rather than something a lot more easy on the mind.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So as you make your way
And soul.
up the beautiful steps leading to the entrance to the museum, you do note that the sign says, I mean, it's probably like 10 in the morning or something like that because you just left for breakfast. But if the museum is open from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as you enter, you see that. I mean, just from entering the building, it's filled with beautiful, precious Egyptian artifacts, filling you know, the whole structure.
I hate to say it, Evelyn, but what is your opinion on these particular pieces right up front?
They're beautiful.
But are they real?
I mean, you could.
Well, I'm not a historian. I mean, I'm sure that
But
they
you
have.
have, but you have a knack for noticing these things.
Well, all I can say is if something is evil or not, or if it's garbage. But I doubt these things are garbage. But
So they're evil.
no, so I'll see if they're. I'll make an occult roll and see if anything stands out. Can I do it for me?
Sure, sure.
I fail.
Yeah, you fail. You're kind of just mesmerized by the sheer amount of different types of artifacts that are here.
Yeah.
Certainly, some of them are occult of some nature, and
Yeah.
stand out, but maybe don't stand out necessarily as evil, but
Mm-hmm.
occult.
Yeah. But I was just like, obviously, Gavigan's stuff was terrible and fake because he is a lying monster. But I can't imagine um, that the artifacts here would be terrible.
Oh.
Right. At least even with that failed roll, you're certainly not necessarily seeing anything that seems to identify with this is the Black
Yeah,
Pharaoh,
and if nothing else,
haven of evil place.
nothing else, they want to keep that stuff hidden for
Right.
specific eyes.
Well, at least we can agree that that the real stuff is
Beautiful.
exquisite.
Yes.
It is beautiful, and you kind of go through and do, can kind of look at all the different things in the
Yeah.
museum and spend a little bit of time. But ultimately, you have a purpose. So.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, it's the work of heathens, of course, but it's still beautiful.
Amanda will certainly take stock of the of how this compares with things she's seen before, so she can have like a benchmark.
Sure.
But well, whatever that, however that will account for later. But he's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, here's real Egyptian artifacts. This was what's on her mind. She catalogs it mentally.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we need to go and see the director. Is that the plan?
Dr. Ali Kafur. I don't even know if he's a director.
Okay, Dr.
He's
Elliot.
yeah.
Okay.
Was it out of character? Was it mentioned what his actual title is? Because all I wrote down is archaeological concierge, which is nothing.
Um. Yeah, I mean it. I guess he probably is kind of the director of the uh, the the Egyptian Museum.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, um, so what is our plan of approach here, Amanda? Do we go as we're asking about the Clive expedition? Are we asking about the Carlisle expedition?
Well, I thought about it on the way here, and she's like unconsciously rubbing her brow, because she's worried that there's a wrinkle between her eyes. Um, uh, I thought about it, and mentioning the Clive expedition might not necessarily connect with the Carlisle expedition.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I would just come out and ask, or maybe we come out and ask about what do they know about the Carlisle expedition,
Okay.
their part in it, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps we'll throw in the Clive expedition just as an example of where we're up to speed on.
Yes, and we can say that
the goings
we're
on.
asking on behalf of Erica Carlisle.
Yes.
Okay.
We might as well be truthful. We may as well view this man as an ally in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Right now.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Look around and maybe look for, I don't know, and ask for. Can we see we're looking for Dr. Ali Kafir. Probably ask a guard and start from there.
Sure. Yeah. Eventually. Eventually you find somebody who you can talk to that isn't just a normal, for doing tours and stuff like that. You find some kind of, person who runs the place, or maybe it's
a docent.
Yeah, I guess
yeah,
a docent.
docent.
Yeah, and they say they help you find Dr. Ali Kafour's offices.
Mm-hmm.
And do talk to him about you wanting to talk to him about something. So you're kind of introduced rather than going through all this back and forth about that stuff. So after a little bit of this, Dr. Ali Kafour talks to you in like kind of his entry to his office, his kind of lounge area. And you meet with him, and you kind of have said that you were there to talk to him for Erica Carlisle. So that's what he's like. Hello. So you are representatives for Erica Carlisle, as I understand it.
Indeed. Very good to meet you, Dr. Kabir. I'm Amanda. I forgot her name. Holy cow.
Dartworth.
I haven't had to say her name in character, even out of character. I'm Amanda Dartworth, and this is my colleague Evelyn Jameson.
Hello.
And we are indeed representing Erica Carlisle. We're investigating her brother. We have we received word that you help arrange expeditions for archaeologists, and we were wondering if you know Roger Carlyle and his expedition, and if you can expand on that for well for information, so we can understand what's become of them or what became of them.
Yeah, certainly. Of course, wish to uh, impart my condolences to Erica Carlisle. So please, when you do see her, um, tell her that we're sorry for her loss. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the Yeah, and he says, as director of antiquities, yes, it was my it's my job to hand out permits and that sort of thing for different expeditions that are happening about Egypt here.
Very
Um,
good.
so yes, I mean I knew very well about the Carlisle expedition and had dealings with them and getting them set up for their expedition.
Well, what would you be willing to share about the Carlisle expedition outside of the typical rigmarole of setting them up, um, or maybe anything you'd like to share that's out of the ordinary? All we know is that the Carlisle expedition went through the usual avenues, and they found a place to dig. Um, all that is known. What we're trying to figure out is what exactly happened to the Carlisle expedition. Why did it fail? Where did everyone go? Some people are missing. We'd like to, if you can give us some information, we'd like to take a look and see if we can figure things out for Eric to set her mind at ease.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, as you know, the Carlisle expedition actually was it didn't happen here. It happened in Kenya. So I don't really know the details of what happened to them in Kenya. Unfortunately, I just
Oh,
know
that's too
what
bad.
my experiences with them in Egypt. Uh, I, you know,
So,
I have a great respect for Sir Aubrey Penhew, or who was on the expedition, and of course is the namesake and was the founder of the Penhew Foundation, um, and Edward Gavigan, the foundation's current director.
Can
Since
I make a psychology roll once he mentions Edward Gavigan to see if I can figure out what he really thinks about him?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
This
I'll
guy's
look
a
at.
snake. I
Yeah.
know it.
Okay.
You have to have Amanda roll those.
Yeah.
should I? I mean, I'm thinking of it as Amanda's paying attention to this man to get all of it. But would it be fair for me to roll as well?
um, Maybe this time.
Okay.
I think this time is yeah. You guys are probably both trying to feel him out.
Oh
So,
yeah, I'm definitely. This is definitely a. Damn.
Wow, Amanda is so good at
Amanda's
these
super
psychology
On
rolls.
fire.
Amanda's
Wow.
super suspicious today. She
She's
doesn't
probably
trust
gonna.
anyone.
She's gonna look at Evelyn next and say, "I don't think you're on the level."
After all this time, all this time.
Do you? Are you? Do you even believe in the force scripture?
I think Amanda's eyebrow starts to twitch.
yeah.
And she subconsciously starts to rub her right brow as though it's she or something, just to not leave a tell or anything. What does she think about this?
Ooh. He um maybe you're not necessarily picking up what he thinks about him, or maybe you are, but he's obviously uh, maybe withholding or not saying everything he's thinking.
Mm, okay. Mm. That doesn't
Uh,
necessarily make him a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's not telling the truth entirely.
He not, or just, he doesn't need to tell us everything.
That's true.
They're just two people walking off the street. I am gonna take a glance around his office, and if I see anything that catches my eye.
Mm. Amanda at the moment looks like she's trying to, uh, rub her temple as though she's starting to get a headache. Um, she'll say, uh, so can you say, I suppose that then I feel like I feel a little sad that we're bothering you at all. You're suggesting that Mr. Carval and Mr. Penny never came through here?
um, well, yes, I had when they were in Egypt, they did come through and um, talk to me about the expedition that they were doing. Again, with your role, you feel like he's holding back on things.
He's trying, yeah. So Amanda's gonna start trying to nail down names and dates and stuff. So just in an attempt to corner him into some reveal. Um, well, can you tell me when did they come by? If they asked for your help, who did you send them to? Why were they here? She's gonna go through a litany to try and expose something that she's sure that he's hiding without
Oh,
saying it outright
okay.
or asking him outright.
I'm not sure if that would be more of almost an intimidation instead of a persuasion.
He's not gonna do very well. Well, I don't know. Let's see.
Do I do I see anything interesting around his office? Can I make a spot hidden roll?
Yeah, you can go ahead and make a spot hidden roll.
Ah.
I mean, it looks from your spot hidden for one. Just to go with that quick, you're just
Yeah.
in his kind of
Oh,
lounge entry area of his office
right.
for one. So it's kind of the only thing you make out is kind of antiseptic. It does have
Right.
Egyptian, decorations and things like that, and a nice, comfy, sitting area, where he can meet with people. But it's kind of antiseptic for, the purposes of meeting with, you know.
Okay, so now is the time okay, it's time for Evelyn to make the yellow swing. So, what do you know about the Dark Pharaoh?
Amanda says, well. I mean, not well. The look in her eyes is well.
uh, uh, okay. Um, just see
On the
It's a
attack.
very Evelyn question.
Yeah. Let's not waste time. Stupid pleasantries.
um, sure, he looks rather surprised by this comment from Evelyn.
Just, dressed like a librarian.
Right, and yeah, who's dressed like a librarian, and he well, I mean, I do obviously as an archaeologist know about a well someone who's not called the Dark Pharaoh, but the Black Pharaoh. There was a Black Pharaoh in history that well, he in at the end of the third dynasty, a man known as Nephrin Ka came to Egypt, and Nephrin, yeah, it is said that Nephrin Ka was a powerful sorcerer, uh, and it is said he brought madness and death to his enemies at at the flick of a finger. Um, these stories that are told about this Neferka say that he came from an ancient city in the deserts of Arabia, um, a place, well, in English called the City of Pillars. Uh, uh, that place, anyone who apparently knew of this City of Pillars held it with dread. Um, and Nephrin Ka, well, he revived the worship of an old foul god.
Old
An
Foul?
old and foul god
Old and foul.
called the Black Pharaoh.
Hmm.
Soon, Nephrin Ka and the god were said to be interchangeable in the minds of the people, and the sorcerer himself became known as the Black Pharaoh. Uh, now, other than if you dig really in detail, pretty much it's indistinguishable between the Black Pharaoh and Nephrin Ka and their deeds and legends. People just consider them the same person. They were in fact not the same person, or we didn't believe they were at the time. For many years, the Black Pharaoh is said to have fought with Zozer's successor of the Third Dynasty for control of the land. Uh, so the great, um, so great was the power of the Black Pharaoh that no record of them now remains. For a time, Nephrin Ka ruled the Nile and its people. Uh, at last, Snefru rose and founded the Fourth Dynasty, and with the aid of the goddess Isis, it's claimed that he thwarted the evil magic and slew Nephrin Ka. I mean, that's basically the story of Nephrin Ka and the Black Pharaoh.
Thank you for sharing that with me. That must have been.
Well, it's surprising you brought up this Black Pharaoh. It's not often brought up. You must be a student of archaeology if you know
Can
this
I
sort
make
of.
a psychology roll on him again and see how shook he is?
Sure.
Oh no!
He seems just like the director of Antiquity of
Yeah, he's
Egypt
like,
telling you a story.
yeah. Okay, just like okay.
So, thank you very much for sharing that. Did Roger Carlyle and did Mr. Penhew and Mr. Carlyle have anything to do with this at all, or were they connected in some way while they were passing through Cairo about this? And I
Oh,
suppose that you directed the camera.
um, who are you and what are you really here for?
I, just as I said, we are representing, I forgot her name.
We are.
Sister Carlisle. Erica.
Okay.
We're representing Erica Carlisle, Roger's sister. She wants some closure on the disappearance of her brother.
We are representing Erica Carlisle. But we are also working against those that follow the Dark Pharaoh.
Well, I believe that the Carlisle expedition uncovered a secret pertaining to this Black Pharaoh.
Here in Cairo.
Yes. Um, I would normally not talk about this openly, but this is my theory that somehow whatever discovery they made led to their slaughter in Kenya. Uh, Sir Aubrey Penny, who has long studied the Black Pharaoh, and he and myself had discussed the topic several times and traded information about that subtle presence. When he last came to Egypt, Sir Aubrey did not seek out my seek me out at all, which is kind of unusual. He immediately visited the expedition dig near Dashur, and when I heard Sir Aubrey was here at the expedition in Darfur, I went to attempt to talk to him, and he rudely rebuffed me and told me, sent me away. Um, Something I just recall something was very different about Sir Aubrey. Uh, Not just in how he acted, but physically. He he seemed younger, and well, he seemed withdrawn, aloof, and something just felt malicious about him.
Do you? I would not, if if I were the person in your position, I would cut ties with the Penny Foundation entirely. Edward Gavigan is not a man to be trusted.
Thank you for that advice. Um, well, I mean, what I do know about the Penny Foundation, my feelings, my thoughts. Uh, Sent the Penny Foundation has sent several expeditions to Egypt. I mean, since Sir Aubrey's death, of which I truly believe he is dead, um, there have been 10 Foundation expeditions to Egypt. Uh, and among them, there have been at least 20 deaths, numerous disappearances, several suicides, and at least one certified case of madness. Most have followed the same pattern of paranoia, secrecy, erratic excavation, and bizarre incidents that are very similar to the situations that happened with the Carlisle expedition when they were doing digs here.
Mm-hmm.
Digs here then. So you're saying they didn't go to Kenya? Or
No, they did, but the Penny Foundation sends other expeditions to Egypt and other locations, and they sent 20 or what was it, 10 expeditions following the Carlisle expedition.
And all of them have met with tragedy.
Well, there's certainly been, all of them had had a number of different tragedies and unusual situations with at least 20 deaths between all of them
Mm-hmm.
and numerous disappearances and such.
Okay.
Is the Penview Foundation here now still looking into this dig?
Well, the Clive expedition is a Penhew Foundation expedition.
And they're still here?
Yes, yes, they're the expedition at the where are they?
Do you have pull to get that shut down?
Well, no, our government, while I hand out permits and things, I can't. It's one of these government positions where if I'm told,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Because my guess is that things that they are digging for, they should not find.
I have no doubt.
Out of character, do you think it's worth looking into where this dig is going on or has gone on?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to know where the dig is, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you've certainly heard about the. I mean, this Clive expedition. You've heard about the mummy that was stolen from
Oh,
them, right?
yes. You heard about that.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Well, this unidentified mummy. I, it's believed and undoubtedly that it's the remains of the of a beautiful ruler who was considered evil for some of her deeds, Queen Nitocris. Nitocris.
Edocris?
However, Coop says it.
Nido.
I think it's Nitocris, but I've heard other people say it that way.
It's all in the enunciation.
Yes. It's said she was buried alive, and but no trace of her was found until the Clive expedition uncovered this secret room in the smallest of the Great Pyramids.
If she was buried alive, she couldn't have been mummified. She would just be a corpse.
That's a very good point, Miss. What did you say? What did you say her name was?
Miss Jameson.
Jameson. Very observant. Um, well, yeah. I mean, how or why she was this mummy or corpse was stolen, I can't even imagine. But something that it could be related to the return of the Black Pharaoh.
That could be.
So I presume then that the Clive expedition has stopped their digs, maybe canceled in fact, given that theft, or are they carrying on?
They are carrying on. It was one of their archaeologists. It's believed he was the dig supervisor. They let him go, and they're carrying on without him.
Who was the? Do you know the name of that person?
Yeah, a Dutchman named Jan Wilhelm van Halen.
Jan Wilhelm van Halen. Okay.
Nice.
Do you know if he's still in the country? Or what were you given contact information for him?
I don't know where he is, but if he, you probably could get information out of him if you found him.
Back to Roger Carlyle though. So he and Mr. Penhew did their little bit of work here, and then they moved on to Kenya. Did you direct them to Kenya?
I did not.
So they found other means to find a destination there.
It seems they did. Yeah, I did not direct them to Kenya in any way.
Would you have a record of where they've been here in Cairo before they moved on? And maybe, if you have it, information on what they might have found while they were
I
here?
do have, yeah, that would be interesting to know what artifacts they registered with you.
Yeah, certainly I can have I can have the my secretary go and try to come up with the documents for what they found. But to be honest, I honestly don't believe many of these Western expeditions that come here uh, register everything.
No,
That's what we,
that's
that's
too
what we
bad.
believe, yes.
But anything your secretary, anything that you're willing to share with us would be great to help piece together whatever happened to the Carlisle expedition.
Quick question, out of game. I know that I have a decayed papyrus Arabic scroll.
Oh yeah.
Has that been have I gotten my hands back on it?
What do you mean?
I mean, because I was gonna if I have, because I know you guys were taking it to somebody to look at it. Is that correct? Did I get it back?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because I would like to offer him for translation if possible.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about Arabic F, badly decayed papyrus, yes. Arabic F. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one Faraz couldn't make out because the writing was so bad or ancient or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I have this, and I will carefully remove it. I don't need to keep it. I just want to know what it says. It might be something that might need to be destroyed. I don't know. But I don't consider it to be mine. I just think it shouldn't be in just anybody's hands.
Of course,
If you could translate it.
I could attempt to translate it. If you'd, it may take some time. It looks like it's somewhat damaged, if I, right?
It's the decayed papyrus. Yes, this is how we found it.
Yes, let me review that. If you come back in, well, at least 24 hours,
Of course.
I can take a look at it and see if I can see what it says.
I have a feeling that you and we all have because we have other members of our group, I'm sure that we all have a great deal to talk about. Just because everything is fairly dire.
Of course.
So yes, did you have anything else, Amanda?
No. However, if you would have this information within by 24 hours, should we just come back to you and get that information? Or do you think your secretary can send that information to us? ahead of your news on this, Mike?
Sure. If you give me your hotel, I can I can either come by myself or send someone, my secretary or someone, to
Of course.
bring you the information.
We're staying at the Savoy.
Ah, of course. Where all Westerners stay, unless they're diverted to that other.
There's only 2 hotels in all of Cairo.
Are we about to get murdered?
If you don't take chances.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but, well, my last thing is just, given the situations as they have been, we're just going to be concerned for your safety. So take care of yourself and take care of who you share this information with.
Of course, and you take care of yourself as well. Um, there is talk of there is talk of those that there may still be those who worship or wish the Black Pharaoh
Yes,
still
there
existed.
are. There are. We have met some. So, and that's one of the reasons why we're warning you off of Edward Gavigan.
I actually think that perhaps these worshippers of this Black Pharaoh who still exist in Egypt may exist in other places.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps in Kenya, and that's why the tragedy of the Carlisle expedition happened.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. We're fairly certain they exist in England, in Rome. Who was the art dealer in Rome? Amanda.
Amanda would say the name just fine.
Yeah, it's like he's also corrupted.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he was actually trying to sell items that look to be associated with the Dark Pharaoh.
I haven't had any dealings with him, but I think there are a lot of black market um, sellers and purveyors of these artifacts that are finding and maybe um, artifacts that we don't have yet, locations of things, locations of, you know, they have unsupervised digs or maybe break in and steal from them and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen a few. I think that's it for me.
Same here.
All right. Well, it was.
More.
Yeah, it was very good to meet you.
It was a pleasure to meet you too, as well, Miss Jameson and Miss Dartworth.
Shake his hand.
Yeah, same.
And I'll keep you in my prayers tonight.
Thank you. I as well will. I don't know if he says keep you in his prayers, but maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And we exit, I guess. Out of character now. When you said Zozer, the first thought that came across my head was Gozer, the Sumerian.
Oh yeah, I know. Gozer.
Yeah, it was just like I figured it's like, well, it's time for Evelyn to take the big swing, and so it's just like
I really had to stifle giggling there.
Yeah.
Do you mean Gozer?
We'll have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man
Yeah.
will be the
Yeah.
the BBEG of the.
That's what it is. It will happen right here tonight.
Well, that went well.
Yeah, better than I thought. We might have an ally in fact.
I think so.
Our-
I hope we didn't get him killed.
I hope we didn't get us killed. We just told them where we live.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's like I'm accepted of the fact that we're always in danger, but every time we bring someone into our circle, there's always my fear that we'll get them killed.
I suppose the one bright thing about living in the hotel is that we still have to find us in the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess it's tough to be the receptionist of the hotel if you come through that way.
Right.
So.
Yes, let's go for lunch.
Lunch, yes. Yeah. Yeah, Amanda and Evelyn head out to lunch, and we'll switch back.
I think we agreed to meet together at lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
All of us.
They still have a little bit of time of maybe researching in the archives before they head to lunch, so let's switch over, I guess, to Coop and Yves on as you guys are being taken down to the archives by Nigel.
Yeah. BRB. Oh.
Good old Nigel. Great. So yeah, we'll look through all the papers that he has about this stuff, and maybe even go a little further and see if there's anything about this Black Pharaoh.
Sure.
Is that like a library use?
Yeah, give me a library use.
It's one good. Yes, there we go. One thing I'm good at.
You're very good at it. Hey, 62.
So between you both doing some library uses, you maybe make up some quick time doing some research in the Cairo Bulletin's archives. Maybe kind of separating your looking through different areas of the archives and
Divide
stuff.
and conquer.
Yeah, divide and conquer. Okay, so one thing you find is a photograph showing Sir Aubrey, Roger Carlyle, Hypatia Masters, and Dr. Robert Houston emerging from a dinner in their honor at the Turf Club 2 days after their arrival in Cairo. Carlyle is a blonde and handsome, or he's blonde and handsome. Houston is darker and plumper with a somewhat worried smile. Sir Aubrey is white-haired, tall, and distinguished. Hypatia Masters is blonde and beautifully gowned. A man in a tight tuxedo in the background maybe part of the expedition as well, or just some kind of employee of theirs. He's not identified.
Would I recognize him, given that I've worked on expeditions?
Sure, you could try to maybe give me like a history roll or something, maybe, or what is it? Credit rating.
I have a photography. Maybe I could.
I would say maybe.
I could be a history roll.
Yeah, history. Yeah, you recall reading about the Carlisle expedition, and there was somebody that fits the description of the person in the picture in the tuxedo, being someone named Jack Brady, who was an associate of Roger Carlyle's and part of the expedition. So you're assuming that's who that is.
Okay.
And then finding these pictures, you also kind of put together bits of stuff from different news sections, that weave kind of a single story. The expedition arrived in Cairo on May of 1929, avowedly to survey for and excavate sites linked to with the Third Dynasty, which is a kind of shadowy period of Egyptian history. After investigations near Giza, work shifted first to a site at Saqqara, so Sakkara, and then to Dashur. Since the specific digs seemed um, unrelated to known Third Dynasty locations, speculation arose about the expedition's secret purpose. Later, rumors are mentioned concerning gossip that Carlisle had made an astonishing find. Then, in July of 1929, the expedition suddenly embarked for Mombasa, ostensibly on holiday. Other articles highlight that Roger Carlyle was said to have fallen ill around this time. A spokesman, as spokesman, Sir Aubrey indicated that the summer was too hot for Carlisle, and also implied that the impending seasonal flood of the Nile would cover an important site for several months. You also find several photos uh, show Hypatia Masters with her camera, such as Miss Masters prepares for a camera safari in Kenya. Give me a spot hidden.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, maybe Eves, with also your, because of your photography skill, you're kind of looking at this photo, or these photos, and you see that the background of the photos in July, even though they were what was it? Even though they were actually taken during the first few days after the arrival of the expedition, I'm not sure what it's saying here. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I kind of overread a sentence. So with your spot hidden, it reveals the background of one of the photos contains part of a calendar page for May. It appears that
So before May 1929.
yeah, it appears that Wasif ran the photos in July, even though they were actually taken during the first few days after the arrival of the expedition. Uh, and there are no evidence of her appearance after her visit to the Bent Pyramid. So you kind of don't see her in any pictures after that.
Wait, so they. We just get a random person join our game. Who's Maniac00? Do you see that? What's that?
Oh.
Oh no, that's
Oh.
that's Coop.
Oh, like account name, honestly.
That's his actual
Oh.
account name. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, so the photo. So context clues in the photo dated to May, not to July, when they were known to arrive in Cairo.
Right.
But the photo is described as being like them emerging from something in Cairo. And Hypatia's not actually in any photos that happened after they're in Cairo.
Right. But the pictures that are are found are labeled Miss Masters prepares for a camera safari in Kenya, as if she's in Kenya with the pictures or something.
Weird.
Since I stepped away, who are we talking about here? Who is this she?
Hypatia.
Hypatia?
Yeah.
I mean, actually, Coop, you do know that. I mean, it's not uncommon for newspapers to basically use old pictures and stuff for articles. So
Is it just me or does? Oh, never mind. Danny, you look like you just froze for a little bit too long, so I was wondering if maybe your connection was cut.
It does seem to be a little shaky.
Yeah.
is it? Yeah, it is actually, Danny.
Really?
Yeah, you're really
It's fine for me.
you're really digital or whatever.
Huh. Well, I could try to leave and come back, but I don't know if that would kick everybody out.
It
Oh.
probably would kick us
Yeah,
off.
probably.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
I mean, if you can hear us, and I mean, we can in
Yeah.
general hear you.
Yeah,
I
it's
could
fine.
Yeah, I
You're
could just
fine
like
now, then.
take my. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should just take your video off for a while and see
Yeah.
if that
See
helps.
if it. Yeah. Cool. All right.
But who's Hypatia?
She's on the Carlisle expedition.
Was it mentioned what she did or who she is? Just some random person named Hypatia?
I think so.
Um. Give me a credit rating, Amanda.
Me?
Well, actually you're not there, but
Yeah, I'm not there.
you can give me a credit rating, or anybody could give me a credit rating if they want.
I think Amanda.
But Amanda
Who
would
knows?
probably
Maybe
know
you're
better.
in the same circles as Evelyn up in Albany.
There we go.
I got booted from Fantasy Grounds, so I'll be on that.
Oh no.
Okay.
Whenever that lag just happened, was me getting booted from Fantasy Grounds. I'm realizing now.
Yeah, I noticed you just got booted from that. Looks like you're connected again, though, maybe?
Yeah, I'm getting back in. I don't know what happened.
I mean, not a huge deal. Did anybody? Okay. Oh, Amanda. Well, if they tell you about this, Amanda.
Good to know.
Assuming they will,
Mhm.
you do recognize Hypatia Masters as heiress to the Masters Armaments fortune.
Oh jeez.
Had to check.
To the master's what?
The armament fortune.
Armaments?
Yes, armaments. Actually, it's her family's chronicled in Masters of Corruption by Nikolai Steinberg. Basically, like they make weapons and stuff. I think.
Oh. Assumed I was worried about her, but she's bad.
I'm sure she's involved in their death. Maybe
Maybe.
they want some artifact to sell as a weapon.
I would say you do know that Miss Masters dated Roger Carlyle several times.
Gotcha. Okay, well.
Sounds about right. Okay, well, this becomes a very simple escapade here. Romance the man, steal the man's stuff, disappear. Get more content.
Well, she seems quite rich as it is anyway, so it's not like she needs
That's
to
true.
steal
No, but
anything.
she needed something that he was after because she's not an archaeologist. Random person. That's what I wrote down. Random person, knowledge piece. Not so.
um,
I suppose this would all be revealed during lunchtime when everyone's together, but I might as well just ask the question while it's on my head, and that is, did Hypatia Masters continue with Roger Carlyle all the way through Kenya, or did she stop at some point?
um,
What if she disappeared?
well, if you're doing a little bit more research, it's just noted in one of the articles that Miss Masters fell ill in June.
And she couldn't carry on with the rest of the expedition.
Apparently, maybe,
Apparently.
or did while ill. And then Nigel just tells you while he's down there with you doing this kind of research. He just says, "All I know is the Carlisle expedition was simply horrid. They wouldn't allow visitors near any of their sites, including press. The principals of the expedition, were very unfriendly, and they spent a lot of time with them at this cotton plantation of a the this cotton plantation of Omar El Shati.
Yeah, we've heard a bit about him.
He's a very unsavory man. That's all. No good things are said about him.
Did you say owner of a cotton plantation?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of what we gathered. He seems to be a bad dude.
Give me a psychology roll.
Ooh, nice.
Whoa, nice. All right, Yeeves, with your
Hard success.
hard success.
1 point. 1 point.
You don't need to waste 1 point. It basically it says with a hard success you get this information. Basically, you get the feeling that Nigel knows more than he's letting on.
Listen, Nigel, old buddy, I think you're not giving us the full story here.
All right, you can give me a charm, persuade, or intimidate.
Well, I'm not the most intimidating. I'm not very charming either. Okay. You call it a
like that.
Fast talk, maybe?
I don't think it's a fast talk, unfortunately.
Well. Oh no.
I mean, it's only 4 luck. That's not bad.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to roll that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only four luck, so that shouldn't be bad. Okay, so with your charm, you charm him a little bit with your comments and stuff, and he's like, "Well, truth is, El Shakti, he's he's believed to be connected with some strange cult. Uh,
Yes,
known
the
as
cult of the Dark Brotherhood. We know.
known as the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh. Yes, you know of them.
Well, we did a short story on them, I believe, in the Joplin Journal some months ago, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
It does seem all tied together. Yeah. Maybe we'll try to get you a copy later.
I'm surprised. That's a dark secret on Egypt. Not many know outside of Egypt about the Black Pharaoh. Well, be careful about the Brotherhood. There are many members in Cairo.
How can you tell a member of the Brotherhood?
That's the thing. You can't until they found you.
What about? I have some contacts here in Cairo. Is there anyone at the Egyptian Museum who is connected with the Brotherhood?
At the museum?
Yeah, members of the government who might be involved with these archaeological digs and.
I don't believe. I don't. Well, if you're asking about the director, I don't believe he's involved. But there could be other members who are.
Right.
One does not know.
Any mysterious deaths, missing persons that.
Well, there have been several. I mean, in many expeditions there are mysterious deaths, but I mean, you're digging into, you're digging into pyramids and ancient, ancient buildings.
Of course, that's part of the hazard of the job, I suppose.
It's not even that unusual for a mummy to disappear, but in this case, this belief that it's this Queen Nitocris, that's maybe a little bit more unusual.
Yes.
I wonder what's interesting about her.
Buried alive, perhaps. Well, I don't know anything else for this guy.
Yeah. I think I just tell him to check out a friend's book. We're all in like it. Jackson Elias's book.
Oh, what are you showing it or what?
No, I'll recommend it. He should read it sometime. Be like, hey, you should check this book out sometime. It's really good. One of the best journalists I've ever seen, and it does tell about some of our adventures. I just, the Joplin was the first to post it, to give it a review on Goodreads. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Unless there's more articles. But
Oh, yes, Jackson Elias.
yeah, he's a good friend of ours.
He visited the bulletin.
Really? Wow, small world. I used to proofread each other's articles.
Yes, he was here for a very short period of time, but he did go through the archives as well.
you remember what he was looking for?
I think he was looking for information on the Carlisle expedition.
Is there anything that he looked at that we haven't seen yet today?
Let me think. Um, yeah, I don't think so.
Alright.
I think he pretty much went through what he looked through at least.
Well, I do have some bad news regarding him. He is dead now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, yeah, murdered.
Murdered?
Yep, yep. And I'm not gonna lie, it may have been due to some of the research he did here, but
Really?
I would maybe keep some of that under wraps unless if you know people as trustworthy as us.
Okay. I mean, he seems shaken by this information. You know.
Yeah, it's sometimes the search for the truth can really put you in harm's way.
Well, you should be careful then. It sounds like you're digging maybe further than he ever digged. He wasn't here for very long.
Yeah, you're right, but we just looks at like makes eye contact with these. We just hunger for the truth.
Of course, that's the Joplin mission.
It actually says that on our slogan. And just because it's funny, I think Coop's archetype is like truth seeker or something. Even better.
Oh, oh, no, that's old anyway. You already talked to him. Just for the fun of it, you've already talked to Frasnajar, um, and this would say 1929, but you do run across his the newspaper article. Um, so
Okay.
that actually looks off anyway.
Yeah, I definitely would still read about it. I was like, oh, we could have just checked the paper instead of walked into a drug den.
Right.
Me too.
As these things often do.
It was more fun checking the drug den. Well, and the newspaper thinks he's dead. I think.
Yeah, it looks like it does.
Mm-hmm.
Bad reporting.
No follow-up.
Yeah, I read that and then just like, I guess I take everything I read today with a grain of salt. Took us like 5 minutes to figure out that this is wrong.
And you don't inform him that it's wrong.
No.
All right. Anything else?
Maybe just like have a glass of scotch with him in his office and a cigar before
Okay.
Before lunch.
Yeah.
As we're going back up there, Coop, maybe can I ask you, like, do you think we need any of his notes or his contact book or something?
Ooh, I mean,
Got itchy fingers. I need to steal something.
oh, interesting. I mean, sure, go for it. I mean, I think that would be great. I don't think we're ever need to talk to this guy again.
So true. All right, do you try to, chat him up a bit?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If you find anything good.
Although he offered you a job, Coop.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll start looking through the. Also, honestly, my distraction because you mentioned it will be also like talking about contracts with him.
Does your business card say Joplin Journal? Or what does it say? Where are you employed?
Yeah, the Coop doesn't have a real job, so I think it's.
What's his name?
Yeah, I think it says Cooper Bucks, investigative journalist on it.
Yeah, right.
Amanda Dartworth.
Yeah, it does. His house, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
It's actually Amanda Dartworth's business cards, but crossed off with.
Yeah, I would Coop your business cards. You're right.
Yeah, and Cooper's on the back. He writes his name on the back.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'll just start being like, yeah, so I do like we do some freelance stuff, we travel all over the world, so we've come across a lot of stuff that wouldn't normally go into Joplin, but is interesting news. I'd love to talk about some side contracts with you. I also take photos.
Okay, well, you're distracting.
Yes.
Can I? Yeah. So on his
I'd
messy
like to
desk,
assist, yeah.
is there anything that pops out? Again, like a address book or list of phone numbers? Any notes that look important?
I mean, there's a lot of paperwork on his desk. I mean, you can give me a spot check.
Yeah. Oof.
I mean, you're not picking up anything, anything related to what you're talking about and looking for per se. I mean, there's a lot of.
Just take the pen.
Yeah. Any money or anything valuable?
I mean, I would say there's probably not money openly available. There's probably, there's certainly a pen. There might be some, there's some awards or something for newspaper articles. Like, like
You never really
best
know.
newspaper in Cairo, 19, or yeah, like 1925 or something like that.
That's several years old. Is that like 10 years old? Okay. Well.
Number one for the past 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Those look well, they're valuable to him, I guess. There probably is like he has like kind of a liquor cabinet area where there might be some valuable liquor.
Ah.
Uh,
It's a little tougher to smuggle out. I'll take the pen and one of his awards. If any of the awards look like a badge I could flash, like I don't know, like something.
well,
are these little like carbs.
you know what? Now that you say that, there is a like maybe his ID. Like the Cairo Bulletin, editor ID is on his desk.
Like,
so.
like a press badge.
Yeah, a press badge. Sure.
I'm 100% taking that.
All right, give me a sleight of hands.
With advantage, of course.
I mean, with Coop talking to him, sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter anyway.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Nice.
You snagged this press badge.
I'm putting it on. No, I just have it in my pocket.
Look on my pocket here.
Yeah. I put that in one of my, jacket pockets, and I'm. Well, okay, Coop. I think this has been quite a nice visit. I tell you, Joplin's gonna love this. this story.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait to share it with home base.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Okay, I think we'll be going.
All right, and you guys exit and say goodbye to Nigel and leave the Cairo Bulletin to head to lunch with your.
Did you get anything good?
Check this out. I show the badge. I'm Nigel.
I grab it to put next to your face. I'm like, yeah, you could pull it off. Pretend to be Nigel.
Yeah, it must be a pretty crude photo, if a photo at all.
Yeah.
I keep thinking Nigel Farage, but what's this character's actual last name?
Oh. Nigel Wasif.
Nigel Wasif.
Editor of the biggest newspaper in the city. That's a great find.
It's a big job, but I'm ready for it.
Coop, give me a spot check.
Absolutely. Success.
Ooh, success. All right. You notice across the street from you that same vendor, but he's selling now. Well, I mean, maybe it's the same vendor. I mean, he's wearing, the turban kind of thing.
It's absolutely the same guy. There's no doubt in my mind.
That's just a different random guy.
If that's him, he's humbling us. He's got to be. I bet you that guy's Black Pharaoh.
Yeah, this time he's selling something completely different. I don't know what would it be. Newspapers. I don't know. Yeah.
He works for the newspaper. He has so many jobs.
And he starts yelling over to you guys.
Taxi! Taxi! Start running down the street. We're just around the corner. Taxi.
Eventually, you get a taxi. You get in and get away from this guy who's obviously still following you.
Oh, I go over and I buy a paper from that guy.
It would be great that after all our time in Cairo, when we start talking about who we met, this one person with this description just rings true for all four of us. We've all seen him in different places selling different things, but the same guy.
He's an eldritch god.
Okay, well, I've got a lot of information.
Great.
Meet back up to the Savoy for them. Oh look, civilized lunch with English English sandwiches and all that stuff.
Okay, good. Now this should all do well for your stomach.
Oh yes, I'm sure it will be wonderful.
None of that horrid North African spices.
Ugh, spices.
What, like salt and pepper?
A nice ham sandwich is just the ticket. Although I can't really get ham here, can I?
But you're in a Western hotel, so maybe you can.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You probably could get more Western food in the Western hotels.
Yeah.
Ham it is.
Ham it is. Okay. All right. So we made a really good connection with the director at the museum. Hopefully he will stay alive.
One can hope.
Yes, hopefully.
We learned we learned about this one sorcerer who came to be associated with the Dark Pharaoh, and sometimes is like interchanged with him in the histories, but they are two his name is Nefrinka. Nefrinka. Um,
Franca.
and
Are
he
you,
came.
are you saying that off on purpose or
I don't know.
Nephrin Ka?
Nefrinka.
Yeah.
But it could be the Franca.
Nefrinka.
But maybe Evelyn would say Nefrinka.
I don't know. Let me put an H on that, the back of that, because she was spelled it phonetically. And it was Nefrinka. Okay. And something about coming from the city of pillars, which is beheld with in the east in the Arabic wet desert. And I guess the Black Pharaoh fought with Dozer's successor, and he's pretty sure that something that the Carlisle exhibition found here led to their death in Kenya.
Okay.
And that the mummy that was stolen, there's some kind of weird thing. There's one of the rumors that she was buried alive, but that means she couldn't be a mummy, so we don't know what the whole story is at, and that's evil queen Netocris.
Oh yeah, Needle Queen.
Needle.
Yeah, we heard about her too, actually.
Yeah. So, but they were saying, but there was a rumor, like one source says that she was buried alive, but then how could she be a mummy? So it's odd. And then we don't know what happened to Jan Wilhelm van Halen, who was the director of that exhibition or expedition. Right. But if we find him, we could probably get some answers. And all of the Penhu Foundation expeditions since the Carlisle ones have had something go wrong with them. Like death, disappearances, madness.
That's interesting. They were.
I think.
Yeah. What?
I think we should probably look around town for this young Willem Van Halen. Perhaps he's still in town somewhere.
Oh yeah. Well, we found out he tends to drink a lot in the old city.
Does he now?
Yeah, our good friend Nigel at the bulletin let us know that.
Oh,
that's handy. And
that is handy.
It's actually it's said he may even play guitar at some of these bars that he hangs out in.
Wow. So we just listen for music. Out of character, do we know how Muslim Cairo is at this period in time? Because there would be very few places that would be serving drinks.
I think it's mixed because it's still very Western.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of English influence, and so so there's probably a fair amount of Christians, but it's not a religious country.
Sure. Okay.
It isn't it's not an ethno state. So it's not like run by the church, by the mosques or imams or anything. So it still is pretty secular.
Okay.
At this
point. That makes so the job is a little more difficult then.
Yeah.
So we need to find a what is he again? We need to find a drunk Scandinavian playing music.
Drunk Dutchman.
Thank you, Dutchman.
And I've worked with him.
You have.
He's been on several expeditions I've been on, so yes, I could spot the man.
Have you been on Penhew expeditions before?
Penhew's a huge name in the world of British archaeology, so naturally there's some overlap. Penhew, I would imagine, has his pen fingers in a lot of archaeological pies, as it were.
That isn't why I asked. Have you been on any Penhew excavations before? That's what I asked.
Well, but he funds, whether it's fully funded or slightly funded, he's involved in most archaeological digs,
So
I would imagine.
yes or no is the answer.
One couldn't be a British archaeologist without being on a Penhew expedition.
So the answer is yes then?
Yes.
Amanda's eyebrow starts to twitch. And she unconsciously starts to like rub it like a headache.
So, when is the last time you've been on an expedition?
It's probably been 5 years.
5 years? Where did you go?
Well, I was in Egypt.
Was that was it fully funded by Penhew, or did they just lightly touch?
You have to understand, I'm interested in digging. I don't do the financial aspect of this. I'm not leading these expeditions.
That isn't what I asked.
Well, but you asked a question like I would know the answer, and I think.
But was it one that they were more? Well, if you're on a dig, you should know where your money is from, right?
Listen, I'm digging in. I'm doing field work, and I think I would direct you. You're asking more administrative questions that it's not something I handle.
Well, honestly, though, considering that the deceased Sir Penhew would go on these expeditions himself, means that they're also a little bit hands-on. So I don't think it's that out of the question.
Well, agree to disagree. Out of character, would I know? Have I been on like a expedition with Penhew?
I would say that you've seen Penhew, but maybe you weren't on like the expeditions you were on weren't like managed directly by him, right? You were more like low end sideline expeditions because you were a very young archaeologist and you kind of were,
Sure.
You kind of took advantage of your situation and then kind of got in trouble for it as a young archaeologist.
Right. Okay. Anyway, I mean, listen, I'm not friends with the guy. I just, a job's a job.
Well, it's just.
You're acting like you've seen his ghost. I don't understand.
No, we've just come across some fairly disquieting information recently, and we just need to make sure that he's apparently was very different before he died, according to
accounts.
That is unusual.
Yes, and just even didn't he even say malicious? Was that even the word that he said?
I don't remember.
Yes, I do recall that being said. Yes.
And which apparently was not like him.
Well, often happens with old age. It's tragic.
No, but he said he was looking younger.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't know anything about that.
So then, I look at Amanda. What else did you want to share?
I'm not sure if I have anything else to share.
Oh. I was reminding something you said earlier. They seem to have gotten weird after they left here. They were trying to quickly get to a exhibition site that sunk by the Nile after July. So right now, it should not be sunken in the Nile, which seems closer to here.
Are you saying
one thing out of game? Can we just assume that when anybody else, when any of our characters say word, we know exactly what it is, so that we don't have to keep exhibition, excavation, expedition. It all means the same, and so we don't have to go, no, this is, yeah.
Yeah, I gave up, as you can tell.
Sure, right.
Okay.
Sure.
Although an exhibition could be in it and completely different than an excavation.
Thing, which is what I ended up saying.
Yeah, I know. It's like I've been saying excavation, and it's just like, no, that's not it either.
That's not a word. Exhibition?
It's a word.
Exhibition is not a word.
Exhibition.
Exhibition, excavation, and exhibition.
Exhibition is
Well, just say X. Just say X.
Yeah.
But I say, they were trying to get...
Expedition, that's another word.
Yeah, that's the other one, expedition.
I think that's what I've been trying to say.
Yeah.
Or you could just call it a diggy thing.
A
diggy thing.
Dig big hole, find dead mommy.
Okay, they go dig.
We go dig dug.
They go on the dig. Okay.
They're going to dig basically in the Nile, which is close to here.
Are you suggesting we have something to do after lunch?
I think what Coop is trying to say is we heard a very interesting story of individuals flooded by the Nile, murdered by Nido Queen by flooding them with the Nile. Yes.
Isn't the Queen from the 6th century?
Yes.
I'm not sure how to connect how the now flooding or not flooding now would necessarily lead us to where the Queen flooded whatever back then. 1,300 years ago.
If they were looking for a place that got flooded, that floods every so often, it could make sense that that's maybe where she flooded and killed the guys. It's just the same site maybe, but
Are you hopeful that we might find someone at that site?
Or some information as to why they wanted to go there? Because after they went there, they left right away and went to Saqqara? I think that's how you say it.
Saqqara Dashur.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's the 6th dynasty, not 6th century.
Yeah.
6th
dynasty.
Wait, I also heard 3rd dynasty. Is that still correct though? 3rd dynasty?
3rd dynasty was the Black Pharaoh reign.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna ask, so she's not his queen.
No.
And 6th dynasty is Queen Nitocris?
Yes.
Okay.
6th dynasty is in the Bronze Age in roughly 2200 BC era.
All I can think of right now is that by the time this game is over, we'll have so much information about this history that does not exist. We can talk about it for a whole bunch of people.
And be like, it's like, no, that really did happen.
The key word is a name that no one can pronounce. Probably can't pronounce anyway.
Okay.
All right. So
So he is translating that one scroll that's in ancient Arabic for me.
Nito Chris was real. I mean, that's one thing Call of Cthulhu sometimes does is quite a bit take real historical stuff and just throw in, mythos.
It's a little off-putting because you can't tell when the fiction starts and stops.
Right.
It weaves in and out. But you can end up being very embarrassed at some point.
That's what makes it so good. Is that you sit up on top of what's already there.
I suppose if you said it just right, it would just confuse a whole lot of people. No embarrassment for you. People will be second guessing themselves. Really? I don't remember.
You gotta be confident. That's what. Just to channel your inner white man, and just do it.
So the third dynasty is 2600 BC, roughly.
Okay.
All right.
So.
The third dynasty was Azozer and Nefen-Ka, was not.
So there's maybe 300-400 years between them or something. It seems like.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of time. Still, anyway. So you're suggesting that while we have time, we are after all waiting for a translation. We could supplement our investigative powers with a look-see at a place that should have flooded on a particular day or time of year.
Yeah, or we can do that, or we can find a drunk Dutchman or a fortune teller.
Well, I think that that drunk Dutchman should be findable well into the night, so I'm not concerned about that.
It'd be easier to find.
Probably easier to find too. So this dig site or this fortune teller?
I wouldn't want to go to the dig site until we have more information because I view it as being a place that's legitimately dangerous.
Yeah, honestly, it might be a good idea to talk to your new friend at the museum about it.
And then also in fact, probably the former dig leader.
Oh yeah, maybe, yeah, the drunk guy.
Right. All right. That leaves us with a fortune teller.
And she's not actually a fortune teller, right? We probably shouldn't call her a fortune teller.
No, we shouldn't.
No.
In and out of character.
Her name is Nuria Watsi.
Yeah, Nuria Al-Watsi. Nuria Al-Watsi?
Nuria Al-Watsi is what I have.
I have Nuria Al-Watsi. No, Al-Watsa.
Nuri of El-Wasta.
Oh no.
I might have mistakenly said Watsi, but it's
Whatsa.
like Wasta. Wasta, I think.
Wasta, okay.
Wasta?
Wasta. Is that correct?
Yes. Nuri of El-Wasta.
Nuri of El-Wasta, okay.
It is of, O-F, of?
Yes.
Not Al, A-L.
Nuri of El-Wasta.
El-Wasta is the place she's from.
Yes.
Yeah. El-Wasta. Okay.
And it's a few hours up the Nile. So it's
a town called El-Wasta?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That makes sense.
Okay, so let's go.
Local expert in occult matters is what I wrote down. What are we going to ask her?
I
What
don't.
is about the Black Pharaoh, right? About
Oh.
this, just she's an expert. Also, just to suss her out, right? She might know more about this high priest
Yeah.
guy than everybody else, and
Okay. Do we know how to get there? Well, it's in Alwasta, so she's in Alwasta.
Right.
Although do we know for sure that she's an Alwasta, and she just doesn't have like.
Well, you kind of don't know for sure.
yeah, I figured she was here, but like is from Alwasta.
I mean,
Yeah,
It'd be weird. Yeah, it'd be weird if everybody around her is like, she's like, yes, I'm Nuri of Alwasta, and like this guy's like, I'm John of Alwasta, I'm
Yeah.
Frank of Alwasta.
And God forbid if there's more Nuris of Alwasta, so
Yeah,
then there'd be.
probably here.
Sure.
I mean, the other connection might be talking to Warren Bassart, who might know
He's
exactly where she
That's
is.
right. And he went missing on Scorpion Street.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
So what are we doing?
Go on Scorpion Street.
We can, go up and down Scorpion Street looking for Warren Broussard, or travel a couple of hours out of our way to find your. Well,
Let's
no,
go to.
we already decided that's not the case. She's somewhere here in town.
Yeah.
We just need to find her.
And how how I'm not sure how much longer we want to run either.
There.
It's getting late.
Well, I mean, it's like anything. Or next scene's gonna be long scenes, Tony, or.
Um, I mean, it kind of depends what happens. It's hard to really say, but I mean, it could probably, depending on what you plan on doing, it could go faster, it could go slower. It's just,
Well, at the risk of breaking things, which will be faster or take the least time.
uh, which, so you could go after Nuri of Elwasta.
Or would you go looking for Warren Broussard?
Or Warren Bassart. Nuri of Elwasta might be a longer hike to the location, and it's in Elwasta, which may be more difficult to be able to communicate with people, just from basic consideration, because likely most people won't be speaking English there. So you might have to hire somebody to do that, unless someone speaks other languages.
I wondered.
So it sounds like you're suggesting we probably should go looking for a Warren Broussard lost somewhere in a street in Cairo.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you think Elwasta, most people speak Arabic, actually.
Sure.
mm-hmm.
Will they understand Italian?
Well, I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a good place to start. We can also think about how I'm like, how are we gonna find this man?
Yeah.
So maybe we
Okay.
should just pause here.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll see everybody in a couple weeks.
Okay.
All right.
I have fun. Thanks everybody.
All right.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.